So it is time to begin our meeting. Our 1 o'clock it's a work session, September 26th, Board of Supervisors Executive Conference Room, pursuant to ARS 38-43102, the Public Law of Physical Access. 15 minutes prior to the start of the meeting, any item on this agenda is open for discussion. District 1.
Crosby is here.
District 2.
Supervisor English is present.
And I am Supervisor Judd, and here representing District 3. Work sessions are a time for county staff to inform and discuss agenda items with the Board of Supervisors, and public comment will not be taken. Items for discussion. There's one item on our agenda, and we have Daryl Crowley, who is our interim facility.
Before you do that, the county attorney doesn't want to interrupt you and tell you, but I will. You got to go through that routine of telling them how the public can be part of this.
Members of the public may also attend this meeting via Microsoft Teams, computer or mobile app, or via phone by calling 602-609-7513 or 888-680-6714. Conference ID 353-554-443#. If you have trouble accessing this meeting remotely, call 520-432-9200 for direction. Okay. Mr. Crowley.
Well, look part.
Uh-oh. The work sessions? I did say that. Work sessions are a time for county staff to inform and discuss agenda items with the board, and public comments will not be taken. Okay. So, Mr. Daryl Crowley is here with us. He's the interim facilities director, and the item is discussion and possible direction regarding the facilities department information update, including updates on completed, current, and future products for the current fiscal year and the fiscal year 2023 and 24 facilities capital improvement plan. So we are excited to have you here.
Well, cool. I'm excited to be here myself. And it's the first one, so please bear with me if I stumble a little bit. But anyway, what I did is I picked up the plan that Henry had been working. I have modified it a little bit. If we want, oh, no. It's, I guess we can go with what we have up there. It's the capital and building enhancement projects that we have recently completed. The in process is the electric distribution panel at the courthouse. It's the very last stage of what needs to happen there.
Has it come in?
No, it's not due in here till late November, December sometime. Okay. When we ordered it, it was, I don't know, 8 or 9 months out. The other one is the Benson RSC stairwell. I don't know if you've been in there, those windows in that stairwell were leaking something fierce. Unfortunately, I think what it was is 20, 25 years of age, and all the rubber seals on the windows had let go, so we replaced them. We're still in the process of trying to get all the drywall patched back in, but it is well underway. And we've actually had quite a bit of rain since they worked on them, and I haven't heard anybody saying that we're still having water issues. So I think we got it squared away.
She's getting the correct license.
Is that what she's doing? Oh,
yeah.
What's that?
Just go up this.
Okay. The work in progress. Like I say, we did discuss the electrical distribution panel, the BDI well drilling and construction. They are finished drilling. They're still swabbing, what they call swabbing the hole, trying to make sure that the sides of the well itself are in the condition that they wanted before they leave it. The email they had sent me on Friday said they would have been done on Friday, but I went out there this morning and they're still working on it. So the other thing is K&G has started putting in the new water line as well. They started digging this morning. So that is moving pretty well. The Sierra Vista Regional Service Center HVAC replacement, that is building B and C. There was 14 units that we were changing. 5 of them have come in and have been changed. The rest are due October, the end of October, November timeframe. And as soon as they all come in, we'll set up and change those out as well.
Are they heating and cooling or just cooling?
No, they're both. They're both. And then after that is complete, then we'll go in there and recondition the roof. We have a guy under contract already to do that. The finance department remodel. The drywall's hung, it's painted, ceiling's in. They're lacking carpet. The fire control guys are all in there today putting in new strobes and annunciators and smoke detectors.
And they were making a lot of noise earlier.
Yeah, that's what they called and said, well, we've been asked to shut down. So they went to go chase parks. See, we already spoke about the Benson stairwell, the courthouse fountain. We have actually got it up and running again. Still in the process of doing some tile, but we've had water in it, had it operating, so the pump and everything is working again. So it's just a matter of doing some fine tweaks and it'll be up and running again. And we have a plethora of furniture that's in the works. I have 7 different departments that we have furniture already ordered for, and we have several more that are in line. It becomes quite an issue for us because of our inability to handle a whole lot of furniture over in the procurement for property control to handle it as it goes out through the auction. It's a slow process.
How did so many departments need furniture? I mean, like was there?
I think part of it happens is it comes around to fiscal year. You know, they decided
Got
that
the money left, so they buy furniture.
well, no, I don't think it's so much money left. Is they do the budget requests in the early spring, and then all of them kick off again once we get into the new fiscal year. Once the budgets have all been approved and the money's there. It has been something that facilities have been dealing with for quite some time. Yeah, I do. All right. This is stuff that we have out to bid and that we're working on. Signage for here at Melody Lane. We're trying to get all the buildings identified, the departments identified, as well as working on trying to get signage out here in the parking lot and on the streets coming in so everybody has a little better idea of where they're at. The Wilcox Animal Shelter, getting a new roof for it. Unfortunately for it, it had multiples of swamp coolers on it in the past, and they were not ever kept upright, and there's a lot of roof damage. The plywood on the roof deck is needing to be replaced because it's sagging in some places. We actually have gone over there and thrown a tarp on that roof just to keep the moisture from doing any further damage to it. Wilcox RSC HVAC. Those units are all in excess of 25 years old. They're well outlived their life. So we're in the process of trying to get that all squared away and get new HVAC systems for it. Unfortunately, too, most everything that we're dealing with HVAC is 20 to 32 weeks out from the time that we order. So it is another long, slow process to get everything in order. Soldier Creek. We have the entire building has a good system at HVAC, but we don't have any remote controls. It's all been designed to control it right there. So we're looking at getting to where we can sit here and control the units there. Projects that we've completed. As you guys well know, all of the Sierra Vista, RSC here, Wilcox, the sheriff's admin have all been painted. Stucco patches were done prior, and then we painted them all. I think they all look very good. It's come out. We've heard a lot of the public praises on getting that all squared away. Stucco repairs in Douglas. We have gotten the stucco repairs done. I'm just waiting a little time to make sure that we don't have any further cracking or settling going on in that building, and then we'll get it painted as well.
Have you used the same contractor on all of these?
No. The exterior painting of Sierra Vista, Melody Lane, Wilcox, Sheriff Admin, yes, was all the same contractor.
I thought so, and I thought, well, sometimes that's helpful too.
Yeah. roof
I don't know
coating.
who it was, but you know,
Yeah, no, it was one of the local contractors here in Bisbee.
was it?
Yeah. And the roof coatings at Douglas, RSC, Melody Lane, and let's see, what do we have? Oh, Melody Lane and Building of Bisbee. I think that must be Building A in Bisbee. But again, with the roof coatings are out for an RFP for Douglas and also for Building A here in Melody Lane. Darren must have control there. No, it depends on its own. Cool. Again, this is a project plan for this year. Again, we have a redundancy Benson RSC. Oh, no. RS Benson is, matter of fact, I'm going to bring it before the board at the next meeting to have those two units replaced in Benson. The Melody Lane signage we have already discussed. I do have 2 units here on Building E and F that need to be replaced. Let's see, we're replacing the roof over the 4th floor of the admin building. The buoy roof repair, we have a small issue with the building, the roof over in Bowie. So we'll set up and probably do that one in-house. It's a pretty small.
The court or the library, they have a
Yes.
library and a court building.
Yeah, it's a court building that we're having issues. Douglas RSC paint, we've already discussed. Here's one. The admin building, the elevator needs to be rebuilt, has needed it for quite some time. We have estimates to get it squared away. So it's in process.
How old is it?
That elevator in the admin building, I'm going to guess 50, 60 years old.
Well, the reason I asked, because it seems like in older buildings now, the elevator, they're not being able to find parts anymore. So
Apparently that has not been an issue for our guys that do our elevators up there. They seem to, like I say, everything that they were looking for, they have found.
well, the Bisbee Museum, we've had that
All right.
problem, you know, and of course it's an old building also. But I was going to say we might be needing to look at what it costs to replace instead of just upgrade.
They have given me their assurance that what they have quoted will take care of our issue there.
Good.
So maybe we'll get another 10 or 15 years out.
Mhm.
The electrical upgrade, again, that's just another small distribution panel that's in that building that is very antiquated. It's probably something left over from the late 60s or the early 70s. So it's just a matter of getting it changed out. We have a rekey to rekey the entire county and set up a hierarchy like it should be. And again, that's something that we're working on. We haven't gotten it started.
Is that using the electronic?
Well, yes and no. Some of it is yes, using the electronic card swipes, and part of it is everything all has a key on it as well.
Okay.
So that's kind of where we're trying to get that all squared away so that at least we have tenant keys and we have master keys and masters, submasters, and that way we can control access a little better because there are keys everywhere. Unfortunately, the hierarchy and the key system has not been dealt with very well for quite some time, and it is a mess.
Okay. Well, we're glad you have that skill set.
Well, I think like Rick, Joe, and I were talking last week. I think we're going to hire that out, but it's going to be because it is quite a program to set up a lot of data entry, and then pinning locks and cutting keys to that hierarchy. It's quite a process. The BDI hangar, again, as it is coming back to life, we now have wildland fire in there. The Forest Service is wanting part of it. The electric system in it is more than antiquated. It's still back in the old glass fuses and cloth wire insulation. And so APS is wanting to drop a new pole, bring in new transformers, and then we'll just bring a whole new system in.
That's for the big hangar.
Yes.
That's a lot of electricity, 225,000.
Unfortunately, anymore, like I say, I was thinking that this morning at the house over coffee, thinking I can remember when we used to do service entries for about $30,000 a piece,
Right.
and here it is now $225,000. So it's and again that's the same thing there. We're looking at 10 to 12 months on the to even get the equipment. So it's quite a process. That's about all I have. Did anybody have any questions or?
I've only had one experience. I think back to the locks and the keys, and we don't know if it just got dirt blown in it or whatever. But my office door in Wilcox wasn't locking, and it was exterior.
Right.
And I had noticed that I could pull it after I left, but I thought, well, maybe it takes a moment, and I never really had the moment to stand there and wait for it. And then I was moving out to accommodate someone else, and that's the day that I noticed this is really not locking, and some of your guys were standing right there anyway. So I think they took care of it.
Well, no, I
didn't have to go back in
I
there.
actually ordered a new stripe for it, so they're replacing it. I believe they're replacing that
It's
stripe
probably
today.
worth now. Not my office anymore, but that's okay.
I understand.
Yeah, it was for a gentleman, and he didn't want to be in the health department near the nursing mother training. So I was like, I can be in the health department near the nursing mother training. And when I have people come in, we'll just be considerate of that, but of their schedule. But anyway, that was interesting, and so people should be familiar or aware that sometimes those locks stop locking.
Sometimes
You should check your lock if you have that kind when you leave, because mine just stopped.
Yeah. No, they wear out. Unfortunately, they do wear out.
We wondered if it was because of dust or
And it could very
exposure
well,
or something.
be,
Yeah.
but it's an electronic device, so
Mhm.
I know.
How we love those.
Yes.
Well, thank you. Is there any other questions?
No questions. Thank you very much.
I have comments, and not particularly directed at you, but at Rich and Sharon. We have really made significant strides on trying to improve our image to the public and to our employees in the past, 7, 8 years. But it takes a long time. And the bad thing in my mind that's been happening recently is I, of course, won't be around, but how many years will it be till all those HVACs are due at the same time? And so we have always asked from the board level that, there be some kind of a rotation, like if, you paint every so often, you change the HVACs every so often, and all the things that have been done in the last 2, maybe 3 years are going to come back to haunt this county and have to all be done again at the same time. So somebody needs to start putting it together. And whether or not it's broken, it needs to be changed out. It's kind of like you don't wait till your phone doesn't work.
I agree. And defense of past administrations, past facilities directors.
I know it been penny wise and pound foolish.
Well, and at the same time too, 5 years ago you could pick up the phone and have an HVAC unit in a couple of weeks. And today it's a totally different ballgame. I think those are days that we won't ever see again.
No.
Everything is going to
warehouses are not
right. Everything's going to be special order, and you're going to wait. Like I say, we see the biggest waiting deal now in electrical and in HVAC. So,
And that was actually one of Daryl's first things he brought up to me when we started this conversation was about building an HVAC plan to prevent that from happening in the future, to figure out exactly when they need to be replaced and start to get those on schedule.
great minds think alike.
and unfortunately, we have over 340 HVAC units
I know.
throughout the county. So it's a massive undertaking to try to get them all upgraded and have a plan so that they are routinely changed.
With that many, maybe it's just our perception that you're changing them all at once.
And
it seems like you're always working on several of them.
That is.
But when you have that many, that's like one a day.
Yes, no, that is true.
So if you're not changing one a day, then you're behind.
That's exactly true. So,
well, they don't have to be changed every day. We know that, but yeah, that's a lot. Well,
Sometimes we break the schedule, and I know that because I think you have a painting schedule, and I know in all the years that I've been here this last time around, what's it been, 12, 14? My office has never been painted. It wasn't painted before I moved in, so sometimes you break the mold.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
We're having trouble finding the right color.
Well, don't consult with the former clerk of the board, the clerk of the court, I should say. Remember what a hard time she had figuring out what color she wanted?
Yeah.
He had your department, you know, on a short
Oh, wow.
rope. Yeah.
And some of us don't try to be in trouble.
Right.
We just accommodate you. Yeah. Well, anyway, thank you. I don't know that. What else do we need? Anything else we need to know?
The only other, and it goes back to HVAC. We've got a bunch of them at the jail that I need to deal with. I know everybody's thinking that we're going to have a new jail in 4 or 5 years, but I got HVAC units that need to be addressed before that 4 or 5 years happen. So it's something that's coming up pretty quick.
Tell him to look for a grant. If you want to keep your prisoners happy,
Grant.
look for a grant.
Well, and then some people say we don't need the prisoners to be happy. We just need them to be alive.
We need court. You see, I mean, it's not a matter of whatever you want or I want,
Well,
but the court demands.
just dealing with BDI and the prison and the water situation that we supply the prison with, it's amazing at how fast those prisoners, when they go without water, it gets to the state level.
Oh, 30 minutes.
Yes, and then of course the phones are ringing, coming back, going, "What's going on?"
Wow.
So it's and same with the jail. They all have access to everybody at the
They all
state
have
level.
mommies.
Yep.
Yes, and if we're guided by the rules and regulations that we need to follow.
Yes.
Otherwise, we'll be.
Well, thank you very much.
You bet. No problem.
Believe that we're done. Anybody have anything? Okay, then this meeting's adjourned. 1:22.
When's our next meeting?
I don't know. Is it on here? It wasn't on in the last meeting. Next meeting, October 10th at 10 a.m. It's a
October
regular
10th.
board meeting.
Okay, cool. So it's just a regular meeting.
Yep, 2 weeks from today.